Hi all, welcome to the QA Tech Talk. So in the previous session, we will learn how to create our first API request in the Postman code. So in the today's session, we are going to create all other API request in the Postman. So we can start with the first request, that is a GET request. So this GET request is used to retrieve all the books in our application. So let me go to my Postman and create a new request. So under the regression collection, I'm clicking on this three dot and I'm selecting the add request option. Here I'm going to give a name with all. Here I'm selecting the HTTP method as get, then I'm copy pasting the URL. So this is our URL. Let me paste this URL here. Since this is a get request, we don't need to pass the body. So let me save the request and I'm sending this request. Now you will be able to see the list of books in the response body, and you can also see the status 200 and the type 590 millisecond. So here the book is listed in the form of an array, and you can see different book details in this particular response section. So now we can create the next request, that is another get request that is used to retrieve the details of a particular book. So here you can see we are passing a book ID as ISBN equal to a value in the request URL as a query parameter. So here you can see the query parameter that is written using a question mark. So let me go here and create a new request. So let me go and add a request here. So this request is used to retrieve the details of a particular book. So I'm giving a name, and I'm selecting the HTTP method as get, and I'm copy paste the entire URL. So I'm pasting this URL here. Once I paste the URL, it is automatically identify the query parameter ISBN and the value under this query param section. So let me save this. So I'm expecting that I will be able to see the details of this particular book in the response. So let me send this particular request, and I will be able to see the details of that particular book in the response section, and I can see the status is 200 and the type response time as 608 millisecond. Now we completed our get request. Now we can create the next request, that is a post request. This post request is used to add a book to the cart of this particular user. So here you can see the in the body you can see the book ID and the user ID. So this particular book is added to this particular user's cart section. But here you can see this particular request need an authorization. So we can see what is authorization and how we can handle authorization in Postman. So let me go to Postman and create a new request. So let's add a request. This request is used to add book to the cart. So and here we have to mention the HTTP method. So here the HTTP method is post. Let me select the post method, and we have to copy the URL. So this is our URL. I'm pasting this URL here. Then we have to pass the body. So here we are passing the body in the form of JSON. So let me go here and select the body, and I'm selecting the row section. Here we have to mention the format. So here we are expecting the body in the form of JSON. So I'm selecting the JSON format, and I'm copy paste the entire body content to this body section. So if I'm saving this particular request and sending this request, I will get a footnote one error because this particular request need authorization and we are not giving any authorization to this particular request. So in the sheet, you can see we are expecting the authorization in the form of a bearer token. So from where we will get this token value. So in the login, if I'm going to the login request, you can see a token is is getting in the response of that particular login request. So this token is responsible for authorization to the subsequent call. So here I'm again sending this request. So we will get a new authorization token. So let me copy this token value from the login response, and I'm going to pass this token as a header in the card IP. So let me go to this card header section and let me add a header authorization. And here we have to paste this token value, and we need to prefix a bearer text before this token. So I'm going to copy this bearer and I'm adding this as a prefix to this value, token value. So let me, so our token value format like this bearer space and this the token value. So this format will be different for different applications. Sometimes this may be JWT token, so at that time JWT space the token value, and sometimes it may be some other authorization like zero or then some other authorization format. So we have to pass this authorization based on our application. So we may need to consult with the developer, and we need to ask them what type of authorization we are going to use in our application. So in this particular application they are using the bearer authorization, so we have to pass the token in this format, bearer space the token value in the header format. So let me save this and let me send this request. At that time, you will get a success response as to not one created, and the book ID, we will get the book ID as the output. So this particular book is added to the cart of that particular user. Now we can create the next request, that is delete a request. This delete request is used to delete the particular book from the cart of that user. So let me create a new request here. So I'm going to create a new request, add request. So here I'm going to give a name delete book, and here we have to mention the method as delete, and then we have to copy this URL. So I'm pasting this URL in the URL section. Then in the body tab we have to mention the book and the user ID. So this is accepting in the form of JSON, so I'm selecting the row and JSON. Then we are going to paste this content in this body section. So this particular API also accepting the also need the authorization. So if I am hitting this API without giving the authorization, I'm getting the 401 error. So you can see I'm getting 401 error. So in this similar, we can authorize this particular API using the bearer token. So for that, I'm going to headers and I'm using the authorization option, authorization, and then we have to copy the URL, copy the token from the previous request. So I'm copying this token and I'm pasting under the delete request. So if I'm saving this and if I'm sending the request again, yeah, now I get the success response to note for not content. So this is the this is the expected success response code that we are getting while hitting this particular API, and we don't get any response body for this delete request. So now we created all our API requests in our Postman. So in the next session, we are going to learn how we can manage our data in this particular API request. So thank you.